Vinyl community, music community, are you out there? Hello, hello. Well, folks, so we've got a video that I've been kind of teasing for the last little bit, and I'm going to do part of it tonight. So this is part one of my CD collection. Now, literally, I'm grabbing the ones that have been on my desk because I tend to do a big rotation through all of my CDs in the truck or the Tucson, my SUV, whatever you want to call it. And I also have a large, well, it's not marked C, it's not marked G with the C's, or Metal Mickey or Rock Scout or any of them guys. It's not that level, but it's enough. And I've got some more. I've just got stuff floating around, and what I need to do desperately is I need to kind of gather them all up, make sure the CDs are in the damn things, because that's another thing. Because I've got like a bunch of these spindles here, just chock full of stuff I got to go through and find cases and yada yada yada. So right off the bat, I'm going to start with the big stack first. I'm going to start with the very first one. This is an independent band out of Toronto, Ontario. Not a major label band at all, and I don't think I have any other ones in here. If I do, I'll politely go through those ones first. And then I do have about 5 cassettes I'm going to show, starting with yet again another indie band first, and go from there. So the first band here is Itis, and this is Primordial. Now, this is a fantastic release. I actually did a record review on this, one of the very first ones I did for my new channel, so you can check that out. Obviously, down in my set of videos, and it's great doom. It seriously is. It's super heavy, man. If you like that low, sludgy doom stuff, you'll be into that. Trust me. Next up, we have one of the classic Motorhead records. That is Bomber. I actually just got this for Christmas this past year, and have yet to crank it. I mean, we all know what's on this. We've all heard it before, and I've never actually physically owned this, so I now own Bomber. Next CD. One that I think I had to order this. I can't remember. I think it was through HMV, and it took friggin' forever. Holy shit, it took forever. This is a limited first edition, including full colored poster. This is Sodom's Sodom. I am a huge Sodom, Destruction, and Creator fan. I don't have very many Sodom records, but the ones I do have, I have this one, I have Epitome of Torture, and Decision Day. I believe those are the only ones that I currently have by Sodom, and I would love to get Agent Orange either on CD or vinyl or cassette. It doesn't even matter. I just absolutely have to have that in some way, shape, or form. Probably, I'm gonna say preferably CD, just because that way I can throw it in the truck and listen to it. Oh, and for you thrash heads, Sodom on their newest EP that they were doing, they actually re-recorded Agent Orange, and holy shit, it sounds so good. Next item up for bids, well, not up for bid, I guess. I showed this last night, or yesterday, as a part of Nathan's contest, and that is In Flames Come Clarity. Some of you guys have not been able to get into this. That's totally okay, because this essentially is what you would call one of their bigger ones. I have another one or two under here, and I'll get to those shortly. But this one is where they really started to go more mellow death metal, as opposed to the Swedish death metal. They come really out of the Swedish, and they went more into the mellow death. Dan, I commented on one of Dan Power's posts earlier, AC/DC Fly on the Wall. I have the rest of my AC/DC around the corner by my TV. I'm not going to go get them because I'll worry about that later. I'm probably going to go through grab those and this, and I'm going to do a re-ranking of all the AC/DC, I think, at some point. But yeah, AC/DC's Fly on the Wall. One of my favorite records. Another Motorhead. But we have this one here is the 2-disc best of with the man himself in the front. We miss you, Lem. And the one funny thing about this record is, like, I've had it since Christmas and I have yet to play it. Actually, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because I did play this the second disc the other day, and I'm going to eventually take the first disc and take it out. The first disc has got quite a lot of the major hits on it, but the one track by Motorhead that I just started getting into, and this is the weirdest thing for me, because I love Motorhead, is Shine, featuring Brian Robertson. That intro riff is just killer. Oh, man, so good. This is one of the only newer Metallica CDs that I do have. Of course, this is Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I do have the big gatefold 3-disc one. I picked this up for a song down in the States before all this COVID bullshit took over. I got this for next to nothing. Absolutely next to, I think it was like $20. It's like 10, 15 bucks cheaper than up here in Canada. Next item up for bids, the next 3, I should say, the next 3 in a row are In Flames CDs. So when it comes to, and I'll just bring back Come Clarity here just for a quick second. And actually, probably what I should do, sorry, my wife sent me a message. And what I probably should actually add in here is the cover for this here, but there's a DVD in it. Now this is, so this is In Flames, and you can barely see it, Soundtrack to Your Escape. Now this is, as I said, this is the cover of the CDs in the truck. Now, so between that, Battles, this is way more melodic than it is actual death metal. There's more just melodic metal in this as opposed to the rest. Now these two, Clayman and Reroute to Remain, this is where it started going from the whole the Swedish death metal into the mellow death. These two here are mostly mellow death. Fantastic songs on this, just as of note. Only for the Week off of Clayman, and Drifter. Drifter is a very thrash oriented song. Absolutely sick. And Cloud Connected. I'm sure some of you guys who know In Flames at all, Cloud Connected, great song, and as well as Only for the Week. Now, I saw this here. I can't remember who got this on a VLC. I think it was Cloudy Milder. He got this. This CD is absolute gold. That's the Death Angel Humanicide. This record is absolute fire. This shows the band probably at their absolute best. No joke. And I'm actually going to follow that up with, where did that other one get to? I don't know where it went to. I had another one over here, and I don't know what I did with it. That's okay. It's actually Relentless Retribution. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. It was up on my deep freeze, and it could have fallen. Yada yada yada. That's here nor there. The next one, these guys, I'm really late to the party, but when the first time I actually saw the video for the first track off this, I absolutely had to have it. And that's At the Gates. Slaughter of the Soul. Mark G with a C would love this for sure. And there's many more that Mark would probably love than other stuff here. This on vinyl or even cassette is a major grail for me. I absolutely love this, and just to own this on vinyl for me would be amazing and fucking killer. Now we're gonna kind of flip some other stuff here. So going with Yet again, more In Flames. So I've been buying quite a lot of In Flames stuff. Sounds the soundtrack to your Escape, that one, and Reroute to Remain. Actually, no, not Reroute. Yeah, I think soundtrack I got as a Christmas gift. This is the brand new one. I Am the Mask. This one is all melodic metal. Melodic metal. There's no Swedish Death in this whatsoever. Now, In Flame stuff that I would love to have as a Grail, if would be the Jester Race. Subterranean would be cool, or I guess better yet is the Lunar Strain. That was the very first one. That actually had Michael Strana from Dark Tranquility singing on that one. And I guess also when it comes to... the Jester Race would be really sweet to have, either on CD or vinyl. That'd be smoking. Alright, moving on to the last two on the big stack side. The brand new Slipknot, We Are Not Your Kind. I've given this a couple listens, and while I do like it, and while I do like Slipknot, I think the main reason for this buy was just because I'm such a huge fan of Jim Root, and I really wanted to hear it. So this, I would actually be willing to give this to a new home. Yep, that's what I would like to do. This one here. Another amazing record that I absolutely had to buy just based off of one song. The rest of it is absolutely killer too. This is the brand new Killswitch Engage. This is called Atonement. The song, and I didn't even know it come out until I was seeing a couple of reaction vids show up for The Signal Fire. The Signal Fire actually features Howard Jones, their second singer, along with Jesse Leach, who is also the first singer. You know, it's a bit of a hard thing to swallow, yes? Okay, so not much more. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I can, because I'm sure you guys don't want to be driven nuts about this. Just as a side note, before I continue real quick though, I've watched a lot of Clarkovision stuff today. I've watched a lot of Cloudy Milder stuff, some Metal Mickey stuff, Dan Powers videos, Mark G with the Seeds videos, Brendan's videos. I've been going through a lot of VC and MC, music and vinyl community stuff, just watching, because it's just videos I haven't watched in so fucking long, and I missed it. And seeing you guys getting the VCLTs is really, really cool. So it kind of actually inspired me to do something nice, and I'm sure you guys will see that later this week coming. Now, onward. I also have, now this is kind of the weird thing, and I'm going to kind of switch some of these around. So I kind of got these next two CDs, from a friend of mine. If any of you guys have ever watched the Banger TV crew on YouTube, you'll know Sarah Kitteringham. And Sarah plays in a band called Smolder. Fantastic doom metal band. She is the lead singer. Her boyfriend, or significant other as I call him, he is one of the guitar players. And they've toured a bunch, and there have been... But some of their latest tour kind of got obviously turned into a mud puddle with this whole COVID thing. Excuse me. So, she works at Bandcamp, and she's got a huge amount of CDs, tapes, vinyl. She's probably got way more than any of us have combined. It's disgusting. So, moving on. She put up a post that she's looking to get rid of some stuff. And I jumped at these two because I'm like, oh my god, I have to have these. These would be amazing for my birthday / Christmas. So the first one is, and a band I'm, yet again, late to the party, love these guys. Gojira, The Way of All Flesh. This thing is an absolute friggin' monster. This is what you would call, if you're into death metal or tech stuff, this is some great stuff. The Way of All Flesh is an amazing record. And the thing is that they're like, the thing about these guys is they're from France. A lot of this stuff is what you would call it death ego metal. Yes, eco metal like Toxic Garbage Island, A Sight to Behold, The Silver Cord, The Art of Dying, Esoteric Surgery, Wolf Down the Earth, The Way of All Flesh. It's literally like it's a lot of it's based around nature and the environment, and you're like, ooh, this sounds pretty stupid. Fucking get this and listen to it. Turn it up and wait till your brain gets completely melted. And then when you think you're like, oh man, this is good, it's like then you hear Mario Duplanche, the drummer. Wow. They don't call him the human metronome for a specific reason. There's Neil Peart, there's Mike Portnoy, there's Mario Duplanche. That's how high up I would put this guy. Now another record I managed to score. I didn't even know this even existed, that you could even get a hold of this. This is At the Gates, Terminal Spirit Disease. This is like one of their first records. Holy shit, is this ever heavy. It is so good. It is just total Swedish death metal. That early HM2, Entombed kind of, I'm just going to kick the shit out of you. Just bludgeon you right to death. Wow, it's good. Okay, so here comes the Slayer portion of this. We're tapping into 16 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I'm not going into... Anybody who knows me in the VC or the music community knows I'm a huge Slayer fan. They're one of my biggest influences, along with Sodom, Destruction, Creator, Gojira, and Exodus. So this is what I've been able to kind of gather. Now, I haven't done... I think I did my Slayer ranking, and I think you guys can check that out. I can't remember if it's on here or not. I've done so many videos in like the last couple of weeks, I'm like burning myself out. So, Seasons in the Abyss. This is going to be Brendan's section, I guess you could say. So, Seasons in the Abyss. We go to Haunting the Chapel, Christ Illusion. I don't need to talk about these records, you guys know. Decade of Aggression. My newest favorite, South of Heaven. And anybody who remembers me from my previous channel, I hated this record with a passion. It's literally in my top 3 of Slayer. Rain and Blood, of course, and Repentless. This was actually a great record to go out with, not gonna lie. Really great record. Now, the piece de resistance, the cassettes, because I want to see what Dan says about some of these. Now this is a band that, now this is out from 1992. This is called Tormented. This is like thrashy death metal from Moncton, and they were, I don't recall how friggin' long they were around, but yeah, man, they were awesome. Like, just some of the most, like, these guys would literally just kick you directly in the face and not let up until they literally had enough. We're going to go to another cassette here that I absolutely adore. And this is pretty much in mint condition. Slayer, South of Heaven. South of Heaven. I picked this, the Tormented, and the next cassette up for like $20. And you can see that's in pretty damn good condition. Like, everything's all still there. Like, the Geffen, you can read everything. There might be a hair of it that's out, but not much. Not much at all. Because the guy I bought it from takes care of his shit. And then this one here. One I haven't listened to ever. But it's a EP. And there's a total of 6 songs. And that is Nuclear Assault. The Plague. I've seen this only a few times on cassette. It's just not very many people have it. That's just the thing. My very first cassette tape my second, I should say, that I ever bought AC/DC, for those about to rock. I saw this and had to have it. Pretty much got it for next to nothing, but you can easily, like, taking it out here, and of course the jacket itself is gonna screw with me, and this thing is pretty well worn off. It's pretty well worn, right to the guts. She's almost useless, but I'm sure it would play if I had a tape player. And last but not least, so a buddy of mine bought this thing, and I'm like, hey man, I would love to get that. He's like, yeah, come bring. He says, buy me a coffee and it's yours. Okay. Another mint condition. Exodus, Pleasures of the Flesh. Trying to get the light on this. Yeah, there you go. Pretty well, almost perfect. Nothing out. It's like, okay, sure, I'll take it. Well, folks, that's 21 minutes. Pull up a seat, get your coffee, get your beer, get your whatever you're drinking, whatever time of day it is. Don't know, don't care. Get onto this, guys, and I'll see you later. Because I'm gonna be answering Rock Scouts videos or questions tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go into some more CDs.